Good morning. I changed the talk title for today. We're going to save that one for another week. I didn't know what the weather was going to be. And while you will not get a lesson today, I just decided on this yesterday, and I said, "Can I wait for a couple different songs?" Because what I really wanted was you to hear the songs that Kenneth was going to sing for today's talk. So we'll save those for that talk, the Better Eyesight talk. And so what? But I thought, well, this is a great topic for any day of the week. What do I believe? Because that's what I'm living in, is what I believe. Because that leads to my thoughts, my feelings, those beliefs. David and Thought Exchange says belief is a thought plus a feeling, or a thought that I believe. Is it?
A thought that I believe is true.
A thought that I believe is true. And so to go with that, I have this thought. Now, granted, it may be that my thoughts originally came from those foolish adults around me as a child. And they were wrong in so many things. They weren't wrong in everything. And some of us had great parental examples. Some of us did, and some of us not so much. But those were their thoughts. And those were their beliefs, and that was their journey. I don't have to continue in the journey that they introduced to me out of their beliefs, be they religious beliefs, be they self-beliefs, be they worldly beliefs. I don't have to continue. If I was abused, I can turn to God and say, show me how I can serve with this so that I would never again suffer as a result of it. Imagine that you could use any abuse, any confusion, anything that you experienced as a tiny child, as a youth, as a young adult, anything, as yesterday, anything. You could transform from something bad that happened, something that you wish hadn't happened, into something that is so useful, that is so life-serving. And all you have to do is believe that you could. Believe that it's possible. For those of you who don't yet believe that, you can change your beliefs. I know this because I have changed many of them. Now, I'll be honest, I still get triggered. Sometimes things happen. It's, oh my goodness, I thought I had healed that. Oh my goodness, especially in a relationship, you trigger each other. You go to the grocery store, and strangers will trigger certain childhood things that you thought you had healed. Traffic will trigger. I'm working right now on the no compete clause. That I'm not in competition with another human being. I'm absolutely not in competition. I'm not in competition with David. I'm not in competition with anyone on the road. I'm not in competition with any of you. That doesn't mean I won't play the competition game if it's fun. But it's when I think my life is missing something right this second, so I have to win. That's when we all lose, especially me. And so to begin, what is it I believe right now? I believe there is lack. I believe there is this. I believe there is that. I don't want to believe that. Well, how can I change those beliefs? Prayer, meditation, and a new practice. A whole new practice. You know, if I believe I cannot sing, anybody? Anybody believe you cannot sing? Okay. Has anybody been to our retreats? Has anybody been to open mic night? Then it is foolish for you to think you cannot sing. Because you've witnessed so many people who stood here and believed they could not sing, and they walked up to the mic and they sang. They changed their belief between the walk here and the walk to here. And a couple of you who just raised your hand, I watched you sing. And now your hand's up, I believe I can't sing. But I've heard you. And so isn't it amazing? We can think we believe this, when underneath it all, we really believe something else. How many things we were saying, I can't do that, I can't do that, while we're doing it. While we are doing it. I watched Michael, I can't remember his last name, at the retreat this summer say he was slapped in the face as a child and told never to sing by his religious affiliation. No, I watched him get up at the retreat and he sang Home on the Range, perfectly on pitch. It was great. I watched our beloved Gloria here get up, terrified, just terrified. Within 10 minutes, she was doing a jazz arrangement. All the while with a thought and a feeling and a belief. I can't sing. I can't. Now, I used to think I couldn't sing. I'm not trying to get everybody to sing. The point of singing, and singing and public speaking are two of the big things that so many people think they cannot do. And so years ago, when I first got together with David, we were in his apartment, and he was playing one of his songs, Help Is on the Way, or one of those. We Can Be Kind. And I played singing. And he said, oh, that was great. You can sing. I said, what? What do you mean I can sing? No, I can't. He said, yeah, just hear the note now and send it across the room. And I did. He said, oh, that's great. See, you can sing. And I thought, wow, I can sing. I didn't know that. I thought I couldn't. I believed I couldn't. So that's why I felt safe to pretend sing. And then I did that. And of course I couldn't write a song, so I wrote Big Honkin' Love Song, my first opus, for a New York retreat many years ago in a workshop of David's. And the next year came, well, my hit, my pop hit, my big single, the Cookie Song.
Got 87 likes, doesn't it?
At least 87 likes on Facebook. So I'm thinking of monetizing it.
Which is also possible.
Exactly, which is also possible. I've seen some things on YouTube that shock me, millions and millions of hits, and they are some of them like, wow. And I've watched some of those things several times because you can't believe this is out in the public eye. The lady who does Sitting on the Toilet is just, she's got well over 1 million hits. By all means, you go on and watch it and suspend your disbelief that this could not happen, because it can. It absolutely can. And so from the singing the writing the Cookie Song and getting up, it wasn't just writing these two things. It was getting up in front of a room full of people, or a barn full, as the case were, at the Trinity Retreat Center, and I sang these two songs. And I watched people's reactions. And I thought, they believe I can sing. So I might as well join them in their belief. And that's how it kept happening. And then 2 years later, I wanted to sing a real song. Not the stuff I wrote, but something, a standard, more standard. And I went to Kenneth and I said, I want to sing this. Tell me if you think, and be honest, be completely honest. Don't let me get up and make a fool of myself. And I stood on the stage in an afternoon and sang, I've Got to Be Me. And he said, oh, that's great. And people are going to cry for the right reasons. I was preparing it for cabaret night at the retreat, and I got up and I sang, I've Got to Be Me. Well, what I did was, I said, am I really on pitch? She said, yeah. So I recorded it, and it was true, I was on pitch. So I felt confident to keep rehearsing. And then at the retreat I did it, and people cried for the right reasons. And the next year I said, I'm going to learn a David Friedman song. Because those always seem so complicated. People talked about how hard they were to learn, and I do know David Friedman. And I thought, there was a time I didn't, and I thought I should start getting royalties for lighting certain one. A Simple Christmas Wish, I still think somebody owes me royalties. I lit it so many times before I ever met David. But I got up and I sang We Live on Borrowed Time. And that's become my standard, my standard. In fact, who needs Norm Lewis when you have me? For we live on borrowed time. That's about it. If you need a tall, handsome man who sings and acts, well, you might want to. If you need a shorter, slightly overweight man who sings one song and two smaller ones, I'm your guy. My point is, what do I believe? What did I believe and what do I believe now? If you will pay attention, you and I all will pay attention to what we used to not believe that we do believe now, it will enhance your confidence for what you think you believe you can't now. If you look at what you believe you can now, you guys, your house. You know, what do we do? Teresa and Gabe, I mean, for long we can't get a house, we can't afford it, we can't do this. They have a new house this year. They sold their other one, and they have a new house, beautiful new house with an incredible view, because somewhere in there, their belief changed. I have my own tombstone in Washington, Pennsylvania. My name is on it. We didn't put the final date, but when my mother made her transition, oh my goodness, 21 years ago today. And so I went home on that. It was a Sunday night. We discovered it. She actually died on Thursday, we think, but we found her on Sunday. And on Monday, when I went home, I said to my brother, my grandfather, do you care if we put me next to her? Because we were putting her urn at the foot of my grandmother's grave. And I said, can you, because there were no prospects for me to have a relationship at that point. And I thought, and I really believed it's never going to happen. And I was so okay with it at that point. I was really finally okay to be Shawn without a relationship. I didn't need that as my identity any longer. I had reached that level of mental health and spiritual health. And then yes, I wanted to put favorite son, but we settled for youngest son. And so we, and there it is in Washington, Pennsylvania. I put flowers on it when I go home, because I put her mother's colors on her side and mine on my side, and my grandparents. And I feel good about that. I feel really touched and comfortable about that. And as far as I know, my urn will go there. David wants to be scattered. So it's not like, ooh, we want to be together. He wants to be scattered, and how much like life? Death reflects life. I want to be bound to one place. But to look, what do I believe? What do I believe about life? What do I believe about death? If your beliefs are making you smaller, you need to change your beliefs. It's just that simple. Don't come to church longing to believe like somebody else does without putting your toe in the water. It's okay to fall short. The first Sunday I ever got up at Unity of New York, and it was our second Sunday we were open, and I was platform assistant that day, and they asked me, I was going to do the love offering. Well, let me tell you, that love offering prayer for me that day was not unlike spelling Mississippi or banana. Divine love flowing through me, blesses, multiplies all I have, all I give, all I receive, all that I am, all that I was. I just couldn't seem to end it. M-I-S. And it was because I was so self-conscious. I wasn't God-conscious that day. I was self-conscious. And I learned the difference. And after that celebration service was over, I said, you know what? These people aren't here to criticize me. These people here they're not here hoping I will fail. They think I have a place on that pulpit. Why? Because I'm up there. They believe it, so I'm going to believe it. And after that, and I did the love offering for the next, 3 or 4 years, I think. Well, it was 1999, and I got the job here in 2004, so yeah. I did the love offering, and I would find a different way to do it every week, and that became my growth. I learned how to really put it out there. What is the love offering? What is it? Rather than, because it can't be about raising funds. We'll talk about that later during the love offering. And so to look at what is it you want and what are you willing to change in your mind, not to have it, not to get it, but to experience what you want. Let's not try to get anything ever again. Let's seek to have experiences. Life experiences. Everything that's taken place before now has been a life experience. And we would do well to give thanks for it. And I know how hard it is to give thanks for some things. But I do believe it's possible to give thanks for everything. Myrtle Fillmore, Unity's co-founder, she wrote this. And it's Unity's most basic principles. And Myrtle Fillmore said, I do not believe in evil, I believe in good. I do not believe in sin, I believe in truth. I do not believe in want, I believe in abundance. I do not believe in death, I believe in life. I do not believe in ignorance, I believe in intelligence. There are no discords in my being. Being is peace. My faith, understanding, and love are becoming one. What therefore God hath joined together, let not man put asunder. So, faith, understanding, and love are the unification of God to her. And we ought not try to separate them. That's what she's saying. And what she's actually saying is, do not let my thoughts separate this Trinity of love, understanding, and faith. Imagine, if you would, the wholeness you're coming into in realization. We are all complete and whole already. Can't not be. But we behave as if we aren't. But to realize, what is my Trinity? Is it presence? Is it power? What comes together? The Unity's Trinity is mind, idea, expression. What is in mind comes in to a divine idea, and then I express that divine idea in one form or another. That's our Trinity. That's our New Thought Trinity. That's our Holy Trinity. And so to look, what do I believe? And what would I like to believe? I worked very hard to locate a God within me that liked me and loved me and was always on my side, that never wants to win as far as shaming me. I had a mother for that. I've seen, I'm shocked at how many parents I've seen try to get one up on their children. And it's like, see, I told you so. I didn't learn well that way. I just learned false competition that way. It's taken years and years in relationship with David to no longer want to win for fear of losing, but to want to see what is actually taking place. It's taken years and years in church to not want to win over anybody when transference comes up. I don't win by being right. I win by seeing. I win when I shift my belief to know we are both God's beloved child. That's when I win. That's when I prosper. And so, that song that Kenneth sang, imagine that you were looking into a mirror and singing it. You're not looking at somebody who needs those lyrics, but you're actually looking into a mirror and you're singing it to yourself. So today, as we go from here on this very wet day, let us go remembering, wait a minute, I believe some stuff, but I also believe in God. And I believe in good, and I believe in love, and I believe in wisdom, and I believe in prosperity, and I believe in light, and I believe that absolute good exists. So now I'm going to start manifesting my beliefs on a more regular basis. And I am so willing to surrender anything that is the opposite of what I believe in my heart, in what I believe and know to be true, in what I believe is good about me and you and all beings. That's my intention for today. Thank you for sharing this Sunday with me.